on the web. How many of you have ever sent out PowerPoint files by email? Almost everyone. And received large files which clogged up your email. So that's what it solves, We allow you to just send a link like this to someone. This is of course a private presentation, so you can keep it private and send it out as well. When we launched in October 2006, we were treated like a utility. People were like, oh, I can put my PowerPoint file online. So they would come and upload and take it back to their blogs. Now as we've grown, it's become the place where you get 100 times more visitors than you might on your own blog. So now people come there for the community, for the traffic, to spread their ideas. And there's really two users who are using Slideshare. One is the people who are creating the presentations, who are putting it up there, and then the others who find Slideshare through search engines, through widgets, through their friends forward them. So that's how we get users. And the way we really think about it is that we provide distribution for your persuasive multimedia. So we are not about the creation, we're just about the sharing. So how does Slideshare change presentations? Typically the way presentations happen is what's happening right now, that there's some kind of a social context which has been pre-arranged and we present to each other synchronously. That's the typical way. Slideshare changes that. It changes that in two ways. The first way is that it makes the process asynchronous. So you put up your presentation and somebody else comes and sees it at their own time when they need it. And the other way it changes it is that it allows your ideas to go forward to people who you don't know yet. The people who've never met you suddenly start finding you through your presentations. So we've been bootstrapped and we just did an angel round 2 months ago, and it's been growing pretty fast. Our user acquisition has been taken off in recent months, and we're at about 4.6 million monthly uniques in February if you include the widget and the site activities. And let me show you a little bit of the site itself. So this is Slideshare itself. This is our home page. And you can see, we highlight particular topics. Things are going on in Tibet right now, so we've highlighted that. Let me walk you through a specific presentation. So this is presentation called Shift Happens, which is a very popular presentation on Slideshare. And let me just show you, it's a visual essay about globalization. And teachers use it, students use it, it gets passed around a lot. And you can see here, many people have viewed it, 52,000 people have downloaded it, and 978 people have favorited it. Now what does that mean? What that means is that we show these favoritings here, and you can see this presentation was uploaded almost a year ago, and there's still people favoriting it. And every time they favorite it, we ask them if they want to tag it. So we get more and more metadata for it. Now this is also the way that people connect to others through Slideshare. So for example, the author of this presentation, I've met him on Slideshare. He's a young University of Chicago graduate who wanted to set up a presentation design company. So he uploaded to Slideshare, and at this moment in time, he's making presentations for a lot of businesses just through his contacts on Slideshare. Now here's another presentation, which is, once again, it's a storytelling format. It's about this guy called Henry. And you can just see a little bit about him. So Henry, this is again a very popular presentation on Slideshare, and what has happened is that Henry has really sparked, a kind of a trend. So there's all these, meet Louis, meet Charlie, and presentations, and people basically use this style of presentation to express an idea or make a pitch for something. So the social context presentation really changes things. One of the ways that we've spread grown virally is through conferences. We're not an event company, but we've become an event repository. Often you go to a conference and later on speakers start putting things up to Slideshare. We don't have any kind of relationship with South by Southwest. These are the slideshows from the South by Southwest 2 weeks ago. People just upload to Slideshare, others find it, it's happening in an emergent manner. It's a great way of viral growth for us. So let me just show you a little bit about how, this is the way your profile looks on Slideshare. And the idea, as you can see, it's almost like a resume with objects. It's a LinkedIn which has objects. It's more Web 2.0 than LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is a flat resume. And you can see what somebody has been, the presentations they've created, the things they've favorited, what topics they're interested in, they tag cloud. And this is Dave McClure, who some of you might know. He's an investor and an advisor to Slideshare. And just to show you an example here, this is his blog, this is the way our embeds look. Just coming back quickly a little bit to about the business model. So something we've noticed is that people use Slideshare to connect with others. They find new business, they find new leads through Slideshare. So that's what we're thinking about in terms of a business model, that we'll let people use their content to generate leads. And you see a presentation in MySQL cluster, and you can immediately get in touch with them or give your email address for further information. Or if you're watching a slideshow about traveling to Fiji, then you can basically find out, qualify leads, when are you trying to go to Fiji. So that's one of the revenue models. The other is, of course, advertising. We have a good advertising story because we show you all the text from a presentation at the bottom of the page, so we can serve up contextual ads, and we're starting to do better with that. Also allow you to link audio to presentations to a PowerPoint, so you can have a podcast hosted somewhere else, and we'll allow you to do a sync slide. We do have a Facebook app, and it's used to some degree, but not a whole lot. I don't think Facebook is the type of social space in which apps like Slideshare are used a whole lot. We actually are looking forward to the LinkedIn platform launch. We think that will be more relevant for us. Blogs have been a much bigger growth engine for us than social networks. So WordPress.com is probably the place where most slideshows get embedded, most of all. So things like MySpace, etc., are not that suited to the type of content this is. And coming back to your original question, I would say that you form a particular kind of community around a particular kind of content. So yes, YouTube could start importing presentations, but it doesn't fit into the entertainment context of YouTube. So it's a different type of space, different types of people coming there in a particular mode, connecting with each other. We're focused on the social because we are creating, and this is not a social network, it's a social media site. And as I was pointing out, the important social activity is not just finding your contacts, which you can do. It's actually connecting with new people. So if you look at all those favorite things that were happening, those are new contacts that you are making through the content. So for us, those connections through the content are actually far more important than the typical social network as its content. We have a lot of tech, education, e-learning, we have a bunch of photo slideshows, and then there's a whole long tail of everything. There's humor, you'll be surprised to know there are sermons on Slideshare, there's a lot of sermons actually, and you have some PowerPoint pornography as well. So it's an easy medium to create in, so you get everything. All sorts of content. So it's a very broad thing, with most of it being the largest chunks being business and technology and e-learning. We do plan to be open to all sorts of PowerPoint creation tools. So we will probably allow, give us a Google Presently URL, and we'll just serve from there. That's definitely part of the plan. But we want to be neutral to creation, so we don't want to support one particular creation type. We really want to be the social space. We might allow mashups within Slideshare, but we really think that we don't want to go towards authoring. Complaints from time to time about copyright, and it's often from big companies like Gartner, etc., and we just follow the DMCA and take it down. Identity is very important on Slideshare, so people tend to upload their own stuff, so we have lesser issues with copyright, but we do have it from time to time. For example, for this presentation, some of the largest numbers are people downloading, and this is downloading the original PowerPoint file, and that's a very popular activity on this. One of the big things is the lead generation that we are starting to roll functionality around. We haven't launched it, and it's going to take us a few months to get there. That's going to be one big thing for us. There is one other big plan that we have up our sleeve that we cannot really share at this point in time, and the third is advertising. And the contextual Google AdSense we are just doing, we just kind of put it up. Apart from that, we're starting to do advertising deals, we're just in negotiations with a few people.